Hi, I'm Tony Harrington from Tradies Property Planners. I've just come off a city building site this morning, had over 200 construction workers in the room. They've all filled out my financial education forms. They're going to get free access to some absolutely brilliant financial education and material. So come with us on a journey as we help you improve your financial knowledge and improve your family's financial future. While I want you to really enjoy this program and these modules, I also want you to get a reality check of this is what's happening to most working families in Australia today. Now, for most people, they've got what I call Plan A. Plan A is where they're stuck in the rat race. And here's what we're taught and conditioned from a young age. Go to school, get an education, get a job, work hard. It's the Aussie adage, work bloody hard. Get yourself married, have a couple of kids, buy a house, get a 30-year noose hanging around your neck with the banks, and then have some superannuation and hope like hell that when you get to retirement, you're going to have enough to live on. The other option that I see quite often out on sites when I'm talking to workers and workers' families, they've got what's called Plan B. And that's back a few winners at the track or on the TAB, or hope we win the lotto one day. Well, we all know that Plan B is not a reality for most people, but Plan A is where most people are at. Now, the facts are, and statistics have shown us that after 1,300 building workers doing our free financial reviews, we found that over 90% of workers are going to run out of super 5 to 7 years after they retire. Now, the challenge with superannuation for most people is this. You don't have control over super, you don't control the economy, the stock market, the governments, the changes to tax laws. The government just whacked it out to retirement age from 65 to 67. I don't see too many construction workers are going to be physically fit and in good condition to be working at 67, and I personally think they're probably going to shoot it out to 70 at some point in time. So the reality of life is this. Most people are stuck purely based on what you've currently been taught, how you've been shown up until today. So the idea of these modules is to increase your financial knowledge, increase your financial education so that you can make better decisions. Now, we had a young guy on a building site, Phil. Phil was 27 years of age. He was making $1,500 to $2,000 a week take home, and Phil was blowing all his money. When he came in, he sat with us, we did a full review, we put a plan and a strategy in place for Phil. We wiped off $7,000 worth of Phil's debts within a couple of months. We also now have Phil on a savings plan where he's aiming for his first home or buy his first investment, and Phil's now saved $35,000 in the last 6 months. Now there's someone who at 27 years of age was living in the rat race, living week to week, pay pack to pay pack. I surveyed the building industry. We found that 62% of working families in the construction industry are living on pay pack to pay pack, week to week. That just blows me away. People are earning $1,500 to $2,000 a week, and here they are struggling week in, week out, pay pack to pay pack. What does that then create inside the family home and the family dynamics? Fights, arguments, stress. How would your life be if you could take away the stress of money? Because we know that with Relationships Australia, they've surveyed and shown us that 2/3 of marriages break up purely because of financial issues. So arguments and blues around money. I talk to workers every day of the week. It's my bread and butter. I worked on building sites for 20 years. I blew my money from day to day, from week to week. I lived in struggle street like everybody else. But here's the deal. You don't want to see your life and your family and your kids growing up seeing you battling and struggling with money and finances. But the reason why most people are stuck is this. Number one, people tell me constantly, we're too busy. We just don't have time. Well, the only reason you're too busy is because you probably don't have a good value on money. Money's not quite important to you now, but I tell you where money gets really important for people, when they get into their 50s and get into their 60s and they know that they've ran out of time and they're sitting there going, wow, I'm screwed because I don't have enough. And I've seen worker after worker sitting there with 200, 300,000 in super, and they know that they're screwed. Their houses aren't even paid off. So here's what we're saying to people. Increase your education, increase your knowledge, get better at what you're doing, learn how to build your base, build a foundation that starts you off. We're going to move through 4 modules shortly in this program. They're going to help you set the bases to build financial success for you and your family. But here's the kicker. When you learn this stuff and you start to apply this stuff, guess what you can then do? When you get results, you can then start to teach your kids. And then your kids can now teach their kids. And when I'm 6 foot under and I'm pushing up daisies, well, guess what? We've left a legacy behind where we've now shown generation after generation how they can do it a bit better than what we were currently taught. Because the only reason most people are stuck right now is because people don't know what to do. Most people I speak to have never been shown or taught anything about money. The government aren't going to teach you. The banks aren't going to teach you. Superannuation's not going to be the answer for most people in this country. So you've got to sit there and ask yourself this question. What's the plan? And when I ask that question out on sites, I know for a fact, because this was another part of the survey that we did, I know for a fact that over 95% of people don't have a plan. In the module, you're going to see how I would show you where goal setting and planning is really going to open it up for you to show you how to do it and make the right steps. So I'd like to introduce you now. We're going to do 4 modules in this program, and the program is called Building Yourself for Financial Success. Now the modules are stepped out. There'll be a video with each module. There's a workbook and a manual that's going to come with it. It's all going to come electronic to you. The videos are only going to go for between 5 to 10 minutes. It's really basic content. It's really easy to understand. I'm no rocket scientist. I'm no financial guru, but I tell you what I am. I'm a bloke who went out and learnt this stuff. I'm a guy who had no money. I'm a guy who was broke. I started to learn from people. I got mentors, I got teachers, I got coaches, I got people to educate me. I spent $140,000 on my brain, financial education, all the programs and seminars that I went to. I want to now start to give you a lot of that knowledge that I've been blessed to have picked up with. I want to now help you and show you move to a better place. Get yourself into a better spot. The modules are going to be designed very simply, easy to follow, easy to understand. You'll have module 1, which will be about the power of goal setting. I'm going to teach you how to set the base to get yourself moving in that right direction and find the real purpose for doing it. The second thing you're going to do is our ultimate debt reduction strategy. This is really cool. This is a mapped out strategy that shows you how to eliminate debt. Phil that I spoke about just earlier, we taught Phil how to clean up debt. So if you've got some debt on the side, whether it's credit cards, bank cards, personal loans, car loans, all the sorts of things, it doesn't matter. Let's get it wrapped up and get it wiped out. If you've got your home loan, how do you do that? This module 3 is going to be about how do you pay down your house a lot quicker. Do you know that with the banks, I'm going to talk about this a little bit later, and you're probably going to pay in interest on a $300,000 or $400,000 loan 2.4 times what you borrowed just in interest. Wouldn't you rather have some of that money in your pocket going towards your life and your family? Well, we're going to show you how to do that. The 4th module is really the most powerful one we put into this program. It's called the power of leverage. It's how to use other people's money to grow wealth. So here's what I know with most building workers and most families. You're pretty good at making money. You're pretty good at earning money, but we're not that good at keeping it or making that money grow. So that's the challenge for most of us. So I want to move you into the modules because you know what? I don't want to see you end up one of the statistics, which is JOB, and just over broke, because I know that over 92% of people are going to run out of money 5 to 7 years after they retire. I don't want that for your family. You don't want that for your family. Come on board with us, enjoy the journey, enjoy the modules, and I'll see you on module 1.